What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for being here. Manny, I see you in the chat right now. We'll get to those games. We'll get to them. First of all, you guys know J. Edgar. He is back with us again today. Love having you here on episode 20 of Unfiltered Brew. How are we doing today?
Well, I'm surprised I'm clean because I've been working pretty hard for the past couple hours.
Yeah, this guy
I finally broke down and bought a bed.
He bought a bed. He bought a bed. Now, what is like your
sleep
like
on
what
16 pallets anymore?
Yeah, that is not a. Wait, that was your bed?
16 pallets, yeah.
Wait, that was. I thought you had that like from like things in your house. Like, oh, wait, you slept on.
Well, yeah, there was a mattress on top of it, but like when I got that, I just intended on taking the pallets apart and using them for the reclaimed wood, and that was 5 years ago.
That is actually insane. I didn't even think to make a bed out. That's not bad though. If you can't afford a bed, like that's kind of the move. Wow, I never even thought about that. I'm still rocking the same bed I've had since I was like a teenager. We were talking about this earlier. Still sleeping a twin. Love it. I don't need the extra space. I actually don't. I only use my bed. A lot of people like lay in bed for like everything. I don't lay in bed unless I'm sleeping. Like I don't hang out in my bed. I literally only use it for the purpose of sleeping. That's it.
Now that I put a TV in the office area, I'm the same. But like when I first moved into this place, the only even one in my last place too, like I had a TV in the bedroom and that was it. Now I do like more out here. I don't anymore. I broke myself of that finally, but I had a real bad habit of that for a long time.
See, a bed would make you lazy. If you lay in bed and you're not sleeping, it really does like make you. I try to like get out of there. It's funny because like we have recliners, and like I sit in the recliner, and then we have these really, because we got new couches, right? They're so comfortable. But if I sit in them, I don't get out of it. So I choose the more uncomfortable recliner so that I can actually like get up and be active. Because otherwise my ass is sitting in the couch all day, and it's dangerous when that happens. Okay. It is dangerous. So I try not to. I try to make it uncomfortable. But like I do have a gaming chair for like when I'm gaming. And then I have this one that I'm sitting on when I'm only on my PC. So I have to have like furniture with things that I do, because it can't be anything too comfy. Although these are comfy, but you're not going to fall asleep. Although I have napped on this chair, but you're not going to like actually sleep in something like that. So yeah. What is up, Brandon, Manny? Thank you guys for joining. I guess speaking, I don't even know how to like explain the bed and how to transition to gaming. So we're just going to do it. Thank you so much, Brandon. I did cut 5.5 inches off this. I cut my hair. It was funny because we were just talking about this off stream too. I cut my hair twice a year, and it gets chopped off 5-6 inches every time because I don't want to deal with it. My hair, I have once wanted to donate to cancer, right? But I needed like 2 more inches, and my hair was almost to my ass at that point, and it was too long. And they still wanted 2 more inches. Yeah. Thank you, Brand. This is actually my natural hair. Dude, Jay Edgar's got hair too. He's got a head of hair on him too. He's got his pony. Look at it, show it off. There it is. There it is.
I can't hear you. I don't have my headphones on. But
he doesn't have his hair. Bam. It's like a shampoo commercial. Manny, shut up. Yes. Thank you so much, Brandon. Man, look at you. You're like a Vidal Sassoon commercial. Look at this. Yeah. Well, thank you, Brandon, for joining in. I know you sleep early because you wake up early. I appreciate you guys being here. First news of the day, guys. Payday 3 was released this week, and the reviews are not good at all. In fact, it's been slammed by players, specifically on those with PC who are forced to wait in server queues, but they just end up playing by themselves. And the reason why it's getting so much hate is because there is no offline mode, which is why it's a huge reason I don't buy this game. Thank you, Brandon. I got you on the hydrate. I have my coffee. Wait, Brandon's going off right now. Dude, relax. Thank you so much. I don't know why my alert didn't go off, but thank you so much for, my God, 3-month sub. Let's go. Let's go, Brandon. I don't know why the alert didn't go off. Of course it didn't go off today. Let's go. Speaking of, listen, you're subbing to me, but no one's subbing to Payday. Like I said, offline is a huge thing for me because I love playing games solo. I don't like playing with others unless it's like Rainbow Six or anything like that. But there's matchmaking server that are the problems. They keep getting errors and long queues, waiting for multiplayer, and then they end up playing by themselves, which the AI, which you can run it with AI, but like they don't make it quiet for you. Like if you want to go in guns blazing, they're kind of in the way. And if you want to go in stealth mode, they're kind of in the way, or they ruin it. So that's where we're at here. I mean, it's a private game, basically. 20 minutes. People are waiting 20 minutes. You got the no offline mode. People are saying it's a huge mistake to buy this game. Yeah. Have you ever played Payday? I think you said no, right?
I have not, but I think I have it now. I'd have to go look at my Steam again, but
I like it, but I've always played Payday years after its release date. Like I recently played Payday 2. Like now, after years it's been out, right? I don't like the whole forcing the multiplayer. Yeah, good thing you have Game Pass. There you go. I mean, it's not worth it. It's $40 for the base game. But if you want the gold edition, which is going to have like, there's silver and gold. Silver is like
silver and gold.
Exactly. You have silver, that's like the 2 extra heist, and then you have the gold, that's 4 extra heists with all of their cosmetic, but they're focusing too much on cosmetic and not the heist. It's just not a good time right now. So I was excited for this game, and I was like, maybe it'll be different, but I'm glad I waited. So I think if anyone's comprehensive to buying it, just wait. I think it's It's bad. I mean, Payday 2 also had a rocky launch, so I'm sure they're going to end up fixing it. But I would say wait on this. And we're talking, what's up, Soren? We are talking about Payday 3. Payday 3 is the name of the game here. And yeah, it's bad. People are really complaining about it. And that goes for any game. I can't tell you that how many games that I have played and I've bought the wild editions and I end up being so disappointed down the line. What up, Soren? Stop, please. Please. You guys don't see me right when I get up. My eyes are puffy. All right? My eyes get puffy. You know, I look a mess, disheveled. Nah. Who is this streamer? Guys, you're just, because when I play Siege, it's like, I don't know, the ugliness comes out. It's because we have to be toxic towards others. But yeah, I mean, I bought the gold edition of Far Cry 6. It was on PC. $100. Waste of my time. Waste of my time.
Whereas I bought the Game of the Year edition of Fallout 4, and I've never regretted that purchase for a second.
There you go. There you go. Never, right? You just wait. Like, people need to, I mean, I was excited because I was a Far Cry fan. I was a Division fan. And even though I loved I loved the first game and the second game wasn't as good, I still spent $100 on the Steelbook Gold Edition. And the DLC just didn't matter that much. It was short. You know?
Yeah, I like the Golden Mic too.
Yeah, I do. I do like gold. I don't like gold that much, but I'm not gonna lie. Things like a microphone is pretty cool to have gold. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a silver person, but
I legitimately did it because I was going into news and culture, and I knew that people would draw the Rush Limbaugh connection.
There you go.
That was legitimately the only reason I picked this one.
Specific reason. But hey, yep. That's great. You know what's funny? Speaking of Fallout, I bought it was one of the collector's items they had sold, and it's really rare to find now, and people are selling it on eBay for like hundreds of dollars. It was the Pip-Boy watch, but it was made from Fallout. It was made from Bethesda, right? Okay. I found that shit, and like it's crazy that they're selling it for like $200 to $300 this watch, and you can't find it anywhere. I found it at Black Friday for guess how much at Walmart?
$20.
$7.
Oh, wow.
$7, and people are literally upcharging this, and it's crazy because everyone always asks, like, where did you get that? And I was like, it's a collector's item. But I got lucky, and I found it at Black Friday many years ago, of course. But I'll have to show you guys. Maybe I'll wear it next week. But it's actually crazy, like, how much. I was just thinking about Fallout and how these collector's items that people waste, you know, they pay so much money on. Always wait is the name of the game. And that's what people need to be doing with Payday. Moving on. Japan is actually making furniture for homes, like family furniture, to help improve the gaming experience for those with families. Of course, you don't need a family to get furniture, but if you look at any kind of couch shopping you go, nothing is targeted towards gaming. You could get a love sack that has like all the bells and whistles, but love sacks are like wildly expensive. Although I think it's a great investment, but they really are wildly expensive. They're like creating soundproof couches where it would be like surround sound embedded in them. Like for example, a beanbag that is one of their basic plans, right? You have audio in there. You know, they say like comfortable covering, and helps with sound, which I don't know how a beanbag would do that, but it's about $1,300 for that, and that's the starting of this furniture. I do think it's going to be expensive at first.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a no thank you for me, but they are expanding like lifestyle, you know, choices. You should have bought Payday 3, but a new game called Party Animals. Wait, I have to check that in. Party Animals. I haven't seen Party Animals. We're gonna have to check that out. Well, if you can play Party Animals, if you want on a $1,300 beanbag, if you're interested, that's what they have. So along with Japan also said that it's going to help improve their internet, which they already have the highest speed of internet compared to us. Oh,
yeah.
Right? It says it lets streamers and influencers in the rooms will form. They can make backdrops to broadcast potentially anywhere around the world. Like they're creating a complete gaming section and a lifestyle choice, which is really cool. I mean, you have one soundproof box, which would be like, what what do you call like a couch that's a, what is it, love seat? Is that with two people? What is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
a love seat. Yeah.
Yeah, love seat, right? So that would be like $2,500, which is
No,
like,
thank you.
yeah, it's a no thing. I mean, it's pretty expensive. It just launched, so of course you guys just wait. I know this eventually will make its way to the States. But if you do have chronic pain, like pain, with back pain and stuff, like these are designed to help you, not just like at your desk or wherever you game. They also have small chairs that would fit a desk. Anything that you need, they have options for, which is really cool. They're branching out into this, brand new. I mean, like, think about it. Like, if you watch TV and stuff, like, normal couches don't really accommodate to entertainment when it comes to that stuff. Love seat style game. It's what Japan's doing. It's what Japan's doing. And it's really cool, actually. I wouldn't buy this right away, being that it's thousands of dollars. Do I know what the beanbags are made of? No, but the way that they're marketing it is that it's soft cushions and fuzzy coverings that has a vintage look. We have no pictures yet or anything. This is just came out today. We're going to keep an update on this though. Because I think we only have price points, but yeah, this is what they're designing right now. I would assume the beanbags are not going to be different than what Lovesac makes theirs. Tokyo, Japan. J-Rev, to answer your question. Because those Lovesac beanbags, I'm not gonna lie. Every time I gone to the mall and I sat on one of them, I don't know, Jagger, do you go to the mall? Do you have a Lovesac there?
No.
No? Oh man,
No.
you gotta find you a Lovesac store and just sit in one of those beanbags. I'm telling you, it's like heaven. It literally is as if a couch is. So if it's like comfortable like that, do I think it's worth $1,300? No. But would I spend like $500-$600 on it? I would. I think if it was a price point, especially in our economy, I would say like $500-$600 for it. Yes, but it would have to be in like a living room because I got no space. I got no more space left. But it is really cool because gaming chairs here, like I have one that's, like I said, not this one that I play at my TV, and you can put like, it has surround sound. It can hook up the sound of whatever you're playing. It's got lights. It's pretty cool. But
well, that's not anything new though. Like
it's
I've seen gaming chairs that have the speakers behind you.
Exactly. It has Bluetooth, like all that. That's what I'm saying. It's like not that exciting anymore. Like we've already broken into that market. So I think it's cool that they're changing into like a lifestyle. Like, oh, you have kids and whatever, but like you can turn this no matter where. You could take gaming wherever around your house and you have a place for it. Is it to be shipped? This just came out in Japan. I mean, it's brand new, so I don't think you could get it here yet, just yet. I'm sure they'll work on that though. But like as of now, this is just the Japan thing. But you never know, because at Universal Studios we got Mario World, and they already had that at Universal Studios. In Japan. So we finally got it here. So give it time, because you never know. You never know. But from couches to well, it's cool though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's cool. But speaking of games, guys, Microsoft did buy Activision Blizzard. It happened. The UK allowed them to make this deal and buy it finally. After months of talking about it, Microsoft has acquired Activision Blizzard, which we knew that it was already going downhill with all the controversy that they had in their building, with all the like allegations. It was a mess, and it finally pulled through. So they bought it. But they did have to revise the deal where they weren't allowed to buy the cloud distribution of these games. That was the reason why I was holding it back. They wanted to buy all the rights to it, like the streaming rights from cloud gaming. But now they tweaked it. So they said, Microsoft said that we're going to sell those cloud rights to Ubisoft, and then we take control of everything else. Which is weird.
That's kind of interesting how that work.
Right? I honestly am still kind of confused on how it's all going to work out, but somehow that made it okay for this deal. It's a new deal. It says the cloud distribution of these games will be sold to the independent supplier Ubisoft rather than the control of Microsoft. And it's with additional protections to make sure the deal is properly implemented. This will maintain the structure of the market, enable open competition to shape the development of cloud gaming in years to come, and give the UK gamers an opportunity to access Activision games in other ways, such as cloud-based multi-game subscription services. I don't know why giving it to Ubisoft makes a difference.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right? Like, I think maybe they're selling it because Ubisoft is French, so I honestly don't know what this has to do with the UK. Like,
Yeah.
it's confusing to me. Like, you're gonna...
I mean, they're gonna find a way to obviously come out of it. I mean, what is it? The 90-second, 90-second rule of acquisition. There are many roads to profit.
Right, there is. And so it's like confusing because it's just one competitor. I don't know how that gives it a fair advantage to like other games, like to other, developers and all that. It's kind of confusing. I mean, I think it's weird that they were like, you know what? No before, and it's a strong no. But this, you're giving it to Ubisoft, it's a yes. It's a...
Well, I guess my big concern there is like what's going to happen to the existing franchises, and like is there going to be a big change? Whoops, drop that. Like when Bethesda took over the Fallout franchise and just completely changed the formula off of that.
Right.
And then I make the question now. I mean, is StarCraft going to become the next first-person shooter? Or...
Right. I mean, see, none of these like business dealings make sense to me. Maybe because I don't know enough about it, but it's like kind of confusing to me. Like, I just feel like Ubisoft, if I bet you they work some sort of silent deal where it's like, if you give this to us, we'll give it to you, Ubisoft, but you have to do what we tell you about it. Like, I feel like it's just on paper that they're going to be like, yeah, Ubisoft acquired these rights, but at the same time that Microsoft's still controlling what Ubisoft does with it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a little weird.
And the other end of that too is, I mean, you've got 3, 4 maybe of the most beloved franchises in the world. Mm-hmm. Are now under the control of one of the most soulless corporations out there.
Exactly.
What do you got? StarCraft? Oh, 5 of the most beloved franchises. Warcraft, obviously.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. I mean...
StarCraft.
Yeah, 2.
Diablo.
Yep.
Call of Duty.
Yep.
I had a 5th one. Oh, Destiny.
Destiny. I was like, I think Destiny, but I didn't want to confirm. Yeah, Destiny. Yeah. That's 5 right there.
And then Overwatch and all the weird stuff that's come out with that.
Right, and everyone loves that game for some reason. Yeah, it's like all these things.
But not for the gameplay.
Yeah. It's crazy because it's like now it's $69 billion deal, by the way. Huge. I just don't like where we're going. I mean, I knew Activision was going under. Okay, I knew Activision was going under. That was like a given. Because of, like I said, all the stuff they faced and how poorly they've handled so many things. But to Microsoft wasn't the move. Now, I know they said that they would still give Call of Duty to PlayStation. I think they wrote like a 10-year contract where it's like, as of now, something along those lines we've talked about before, that they would allow it. But now I don't know if that changes anything. Maybe they do want it just Xbox heavy. Everyone hates that game. Yeah, it's pretty chaotic in that game. I honestly don't see the appeal to Overwatch. But yeah.
Maybe I'll be Tracer.
Maybe. Oh. It's just weird. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I hope PlayStation, I don't think it's right to rob a whole console of it's different to rob them of things like Spider-Man or something, right? Because it's a story-driven game. Then, God of War, story-driven game. That's fine. You want to take a title that's story-driven, that's fine. But a multiplayer game, which Call of Duty, we all know the millions and millions that play for the multiplayer, that I think could just hurt. You shouldn't take that away from anyone. But we'll see what this goes. I can't believe they actually bought it. I don't know why Ubisoft's in here. Ubisoft, you have to work on a Splinter Cell because you haven't given us one since 2013. And I don't know, fix Rainbow Six. Maybe focus on things like that and stop making weird games. Like that roller skating game that went nowhere. Maybe focus less on that and more on the games that we want.
Like the 67th installment of Assassin's Creed.
Right? Stop with the Assassin's Creed. Give us Splinter Cell. Give us Splinter Cell. We want Tom Clancy stuff to go back to being Tom Clancy games. We don't want his name with some lame game attached to it. We want it to be legit again. Fix Ghost Recon. Fix Far Cry. I mean, you got to fix your games. Like, I just don't get it. Fix that. And now they're taking, I don't know. I feel like they got some silent deal, but we're going to move on. But then it's COD and other platform titles have limited to being, yeah, have a limited, yeah, it's true. You're right, JRev, on that. You are correct on that. I'm just worried that Microsoft's just going to take this and run. They're going to milk this now. I feel like there's so many small details we don't know because we don't have the full contract in our hands that I feel like they're going to just ruin it. I just have a fear of that. If you guys were interested in buying Total War Pharaoh, that was supposed to come out on October 11th of this year, sorry to tell you, but it'll only be released now in 2024 and solely on the Epic Game Store. This was literally about to be ready for launch in like 20 something days. And now it's been canceled. And if you had pre-orders on Epic Games, they've automatically canceled it and you should be able to get a refund, directly through them. They said that, like some issues came up with like their place of work, like their creative team, something along those lines. And they're taking, I mean, October 11th was about to be here, and to kind of take that out and say 2024. Right?
I was going to say, if you're like 20 days away, I would think that the creative team is no longer relevant at that point.
Exactly. Like, you can still participate in the early beta, which is the 29th of this month to the 2nd of October. But now it's kind of like embarrassing. And then to cancel pre-orders is even more embarrassing. And if you guys don't know what this game is, it's a historical strategy game from Creative Assembly. And it takes us back to the Bronze Age, where it's a battle between Egyptian and the mysterious sea people. I didn't even know what this game was.
I'd be interested in that.
Well, you gotta wait till 2024. If you were interested by October 11th, forget it. But yeah, you can get it early access in next week. You can do that on the 29th. Literally next Thursday. Yeah. Or Friday. What day are we in? Oh gosh, I don't even know what day we are anymore. So yeah, that's kind of annoying because if I was excited for a game, I would be really saddened to hear that. I mean, X Defiant was supposed to come out, Ubisoft, speaking of Ubisoft, and it was supposed to be out already, and they keep delaying it. Like, at this point, the hype of it trying to beat Call of Duty, I think, has died out because they keep prolonging it. Postpone. No one's going to want to play it by the time it comes out. It's bad marketing strategy. Like, if you needed more time, you originally tell us that you do and leave it to one date. But to give us 3-4 dates and keep pushing it back, people are not going to be interested anymore. Crazy. And if you are one of those people that the PlayStation service that went up in price, I really can't believe it. There are titles that are no longer going to be available in the PS Plus service starting next month. They are actually removing games, so and they'll be set to buy. So if you want to get these games for free, you have until next month to do so. So about a week left. I have the games here. There's the list for you guys. If you want to get those, get them now before they go. We got things like Far Cry 4, 5, Limbo, The Crew, The Quarry, the Yakuza series, to name a few. So check out that list. And if there's anything that appeals to you, make sure you get it before it ends. And, man, Far Cry 5, though. Honestly, Jagger, I think you would love that game. Honestly.
I've been interested in it for a while, so.
And it has so much satire, and it's hilarious. I think they take politics in the game in a hilarious manner. And, I don't like that being in gaming, but I think they poke fun at everybody in a fun way. So I think if you guys are interested, I think out of all Far Cry's, I mean, it is one of my favorite games. Get it. It's Far Cry 4 and 5, JRev. That's going to be on that list. That's going to be removed. And if you guys haven't played Far Cry 5, you literally have to. I think it's such a well-made game. The best in the series. I think it's great. But But yeah, that kind of sums up the news that we had, and now we're gonna talk about top rated games, and or if they're just overrated. We're gonna actually be talking about what is a good game, what people think a good game is, and if it's overrated or legit. And first, Jake, I want us to start off here. Tell us what your favorite game is, or like your top games.
I've put a lot of thought into this because again, where do you come up with as far as your standard? I mean, replayability, the story cap. I know the story's not as big a thing for you as it is for me, but the story capturing you.
Oh no, are you
Um,
kidding? Stories why a campaign is only why I play a game. You kidding? Just because I don't like Final Fantasy doesn't mean I don't like stories. I know where you're going with this. I know where Okay, relax. Okay, how about you? So you said, what is the most important aspect for you in a game? And I'll ask chat the same thing. What makes it a good game for you?
I will say replayability is something because if you're gonna, especially with the cost of some of these games, and
Yeah.
I'll admit that I've been picking up a lot of them on sale lately, but
Okay.
I mean, for the cost of what some of these games are going for, 50, 60, 70 bucks,
Facts. Facts.
it's like when we talked about the worst games we ever played, and I picked
Right.
up that copy of the Game Boy port of Mega Man 2
Right.
when I was in middle school, and I mean, I paid $14 for that in the used store in 1998. That was a lot of money.
That's a lot. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's what it is now, but it
And
was back then.
and to be done with it in 2 hours for $14.
Yeah, that's okay. So replayability for you is like the number one thing.
Yeah. That's kind of where I do fall in with the Fallout franchise because while there are like there's so many different ways to play them, but
Mm-hmm.
before Fallout, before everything else, if I go for story,
Yeah.
the most beautiful game that I've ever played is it was an out of nowhere hit that
Uh-huh.
just kind of the franchise fell flat, and I wish they'd have done a sequel or something else with that franchise because it was so well written. But it was called The Legend of Dragoon. It was for PS1.
Okay. Never heard
It
of
was
this.
a turn-based RPG, but they
Huh.
had elements outside of like you actually had to have some skill to get the full experience out of it instead of just playing a board game.
Oh, okay.
So it
That's kind
mixed
of cool.
elements with that, like the over was it the overdrive system? No, that was Final Fantasy. The addition system is what they called it, where it was a timed hit,
Got
but
it.
some of those timed hits had like 8 hits in them that you had to get out in time and in a rhythm, and it changed all the time. They put skill into something like that, and were still able to put like a fantastic story into it
Okay. No, I've
on
never even heard
PS1
of this game.
hardware. It was a huge game at the time. It was a 4 disc game.
4 disc? Woo! Most I played was
PS1
two.
4 disc.
Yeah, okay. Sheesh.
Um, but as far as like the best game, because replayability
Yeah,
is important. Like if you play Legend of Dragoon, you're playing the same game every time because it's so
gotcha.
story driven.
I got you. Okay.
Diablo.
And Diablo.
Diablo is the franchise that because of the replayability. Number
Replayability.
one, Diablo 2, 7 different character classes that you can play
Uh-huh.
that all have very, very different unique. So like you can play through the game 7 different times and have a completely unique experience.
That's a,
Plus you can
yeah,
change up armors, weapons, styles, etc.
yeah.
just for the character. And then on top of the fact, I still to this day don't know how I did it. My ex-girlfriend who was a software developer
Mm-hmm.
thought it was just an set number of set pieces, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think it was set pieces. I think they actually generated.
Oh,
The Diablo franchise generated a new map for every game that you played.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, I didn't play
So
any of these.
that's like ultimate replayability right there because
Yeah.
you're never going to play the same game
Right.
twice.
Right. Wow. So yeah,
And then if
you're
you're like Diablo 2 multiplayer,
uh
and single player, you still have the same map.
yeah.
Obviously, like when you come in and if you go back to replay, like if you save an exit and you come back and replay again,
Yeah.
you'll have the same map as what you were working on. In multiplayer, like they saved your waypoints, they
Yeah.
saved your quests and items, but otherwise every time you signed in for the multiplayer, you got a new map.
Got it. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I can understand how that would be. Yeah. I mean, the thing with me is I don't look into replayability, but like Diablo is on the list, by the way, for the most popular games. It's Diablo 3 to be specific. Um, so yeah, replayability for you. And would you consider those like your top creme de la creme
Yeah,
of gaming? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna catch up on chat here in a second. Revolt, what's going on? Your 2 cents, replayability. Okay, so you got it. Yep, there it is. Someone agreed with you. Replayability. You guys all played this Legend of Dragoon? That's crazy. Never even heard of this game. I
You
mean,
might not really be up your alley. It's a JRPG, but
yeah, definitely not. But I'm gonna look into gameplay of it. Yeah, I would definitely look into gameplay of it.
yeah, JRev found the weakness of that. It came out about the same time as Final Fantasy VII, which
Oh, I
I've
got
never played, but people have told me is an absolute masterpiece.
you guys in your Final Fantasy obsession, all right? I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. But like I do get it, but it just can't be me. It's just not what I'm interested in. I think for me it's a story. If it doesn't have a good story, the game just simply does not apply to me.
As long as it's not a love story, right?
Yeah, love stories make me cringe. They do. I hate forced love in game. Sometimes it works like naturally, but when it's forced, I want to vomit, and it's like I feel like I'm now in this bubble. Like this game is telling you that your choice matters or whatnot, but then you're forced into it. Yeah, so it's campaign. I have always said, and people always say like, oh, but the multiplayer, like I don't care about multiplayer. Campaign, campaign, campaign. The storyline. If it doesn't have a good story, it's not good. Do you think Last of Us is a great game because of the freaking gameplay of it with the with the, clickers and all that? No, it makes it a great storyline because it's amazing. The first one, and like I said, it ends there. Number one, it's just such a beautiful story, and that's what makes it so amazing. But for me personally, my favorite game story wise has always been Heavy Rain. And if you never played this, it's a decision make game. Literally the best. I've never been so enthralled in a game where like your actions legit do matter. And I love choice making games. I love that. But Heavy Rain had a great storyline. Great storyline. That's one. But then another one obviously would have to be God of War because it's just such a beautiful game. And I'm talking like from the original, they set up Kratos to be this hardened character and it works so well from the originals, like 1, 2, and 3 until they moved on. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, Snow gets it. He's played Heavy Rain.
I've never heard of Heavy Rain before
You
today.
never? Oh, you gotta play it. You gotta play it. It's about basically a son gets kidnapped and you play two characters. No, three characters. I'm sorry. You play three characters and it's about finding out like who did this and like where he is. And like his life and everyone else's life depends on your actions. You have the police. You play as the girl, which I think is a reporter, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, and then the dad. It's great. It's great. God of War, clearly, I actually cried in God of War, which is really embarrassing to even mention, but I did. And I would say Far Cry 5 is up there too as far as storyline. I absolutely loved Far Cry 5 I think it was just such a good story and so fun to play. I did cry in God of War because somebody, I'm not going to say, but something happens and it was sad. Okay. It was sad. It was really sad. But yeah, I mean, Last of Us, obviously, like that first scene, everyone that's played, I won't say it because J. Edgar hasn't played. That first scene was enough to like, but I did off stream play it, JREF, because I had COVID. Okay. And I'm not about to cry on stream. I'm not about to cry on stream. That's crazy. Never. I would never. But like, I don't even cry when watching TV. So it is kind of crazy. That game makes you evoke, all these feelings. But yeah, Far Cry 5, guys, literally a great game. I do love the storyline of Heavy Rain. Good.
Just thinking back on times when I've actually cried in a game. I don't. I know that there was one, and I cannot remember what it is right off the bat, but it's happened to me. My ex-girlfriend,
Uh,
the crazy one. Well, actually, I got to be more specific than that. I'll tell you off stream which crazy one, but
okay. Okay.
actually told me that when Kerrigan got sacrificed to the Zerg in the first chapter of the original StarCraft, she cried over that one, which I could
Okay.
see.
Okay. See, people cry because it's like meaning. J Rev just said, "Oh my God, Spider-Man PS4." I forgot. I did cry on that one too. You're right. I did cry on that one because to me personally, I would save my family over some, a lot of New Yorkers that I don't know. I'm just saying that would have been my choice. A lot of people blame me for a lot of like, if you've played any kind of game, it's like people are like, "Oh, that's the wrong choice." Like, not really. Aunt May deserved to live, Like, no, it's really not. It's really not that hard to choose between those you love and like a bunch of people you don't know. Let's get real. But then you are in
Not Aunt
Spider-Man.
May.
Yeah, see? It's all about nah. I don't care about New Yorkers if they're
Nah.
gonna, it's a pass. It's a pass. It's a pass. If I'm gonna save people, it better be someone that I care for. Are we gonna even go through the trouble? But also Call of Duty Ghost, guys, which got so much hate for the multiplayer, was one of I think my favorite Call of Duty story wise. It was the best Call of Duty storyline, and I was so excited for Ghost 2, but it never happened. Basically, it's a brother and these two brothers, they go to war and all this stuff. One gets taken and brainwashed and becomes evil at the end, and it was set up to be brother versus brother for number 2, but we never got it, and I thought it was genius. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, campaign, like I said, is huge. I mean, it's kind of like any kind of decision. I mean, even in Detroit Become Human had a really good storyline, even though it had you feeling bad for AI, which is scary because like that's the time we're living in now. Even though this game came out so long ago, it was a great story. Fantastic story. So
I have heard of that one, but not very much.
that's a good one because your characters can die and you can either end up with just like all of you dying or like you guys survive. It depends on your choice. That one's a really good one story-wise too. Modern Warfare 2 did have a good story, but I think Ghost kind of shat on that. Personally, I was really enthralled. But another game, a lot of people have never really played it. It was called Spec Ops: The Line. And it was a fantastic war game, way better than Call of Duty. It was on PS3. Each scene ended in black or a white screen transition. And it was kind of confusing, but if you look back, it was like the scenes that were ending in black is what really happened. And the ones that ended in white was like your character's imagination because you're like in war. And to kind of go back and piece together what the story was fantastic. So that was another one.
I need
Yeah.
more graphics card for Detroit Become Human.
Oh, do you? I would, yeah, definitely, honestly, but play Heavy Rain first because that's the best. Honest to God. I mean, you can finish that in like one sitting. Heavy Rain is where it's at. But like I said,
I don't like games where I can finish in one sitting.
I know, but it's so good. Like, I love decision-making games. It is my favorite type of game. It has a great story 90% of the time, and your choices matter. I love that. Absolutely love that because it plays into the story. So, but that's not what everyone thinks, you guys, when it comes to a good game. Mass Effect, you know what? I'm not a big Mass Effect person. But
I do like Mass Effect, actually.
it's not like the games that like, I can understand why people like it, but it's not like your choice. Like it's based solely like there's too much going on for me for that. Like I want story. Like I'm not needing action. I can literally just play a game where it's just talking and choices. So you do like Mass Effect?
I just got the Legendary Edition on sale, and
Here you
I
go.
did a little bit of it off camera. I am because I've only played the first one.
Okay.
I'm actually very excited to play the other two now.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever play Godfather? Any Godfather fans here?
No, I have not.
That was I think, okay, minus the story, because it's just like the storyline of a regular Mafia, right? Gameplay wise, I think that's my favorite game of all time. Gameplay wise, I mean, on the Wii, if you played it on the Wii, you can literally like punch people. Like if you went to choke them, like to get them racketeering, you know, to kind of like get them to, you would like have to do these motions and like to point and shoot and all that. It felt like you were immersed in it. It has to be played on the Wii. It was more immersive that way. And then Godfather 2, you basically build your own mafia from the ground up. It's great. I mean, I love a good mafia game for me. That's an unpopular opinion. Yeah, I know, because a lot of people don't like mafia. They hate on it. I love anything with the mafia. I really think organized crime is so interesting to look at, which is kind of a crazy opinion, but listen, with mafia there was law and order. All right? Law and order. But no, I think like mafia movies always do well. I mean, right? Look at the movie. But I mean, that's what it is. I think mafias are so interesting, looking back at it. No, I do love the movie, but I love the game because you were like immersed in it, especially on the Wii. It like made you feel like doing these motions, and the driving was fun, and everything was really cool about how they did it. And The Godfather 2 wasn't as good as the first, but it was fun to play. And like to control every faction you had controlled, and you could send people to go protect stores and things like that. It's cool. But let's talk about what people think. Now, 20 most popular video game of all time. Different rankings, but a lot of them kind of share the same game. But we're going to go in from best-selling video games is what we're going to start with. So really doesn't matter what our opinion is, right? It's all about money now. What made the most money? Do you want to take a guess on what the number one was?
Pokemon.
Ooh, no, that was number 9 on the list.
Wow.
Yeah, and J-Rev got it right. It's Minecraft. Came out in 2011 with 238 million units sold. Woo! Woo! Right? Right? We have a number 2. Want to take a guess?
No, because I know where my guess would be on number 9. It's
okay,
at number 9.
GTA 5 came in at number 2. You know, then there was Tetris, which the one that came out in 2006 by EA, sold 100 million. Wii Sport, 83 mil. You had PUBG, and then that was at 75 mil. Mario Kart 8 with 60. Super Mario Brothers, 58 million. Red Dead Redemption 2 at 50. Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, Yellow at 47.5. And this Terraria, you ever heard of this?
I have heard of this. But
it's an older game. Yeah. 2011 that came out at 44.5. So we're going to go through. Minecraft, I really hate. I don't understand the appeal of Minecraft. Like, I literally don't. Have you ever?
I've never played it, but I know that I've got a friend that went up from when I lived in Kenosha who like that's what he did after work is he just went in and he loaded up Minecraft. And I asked him one day, I'm like, what's the appeal of this? Well, you can do anything.
Which is like, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time.
I can do that in Fallout 2 and still have a story.
Exactly. It's like no structure. I don't like that. Yeah. I need structure. I need guidance. GTA 5 is kind of obvious. It's not my favorite GTA, but I can understand why everyone loved it. I mean, it was the most you could do with setting up heists and stuff. Really fun. Tetris is always a great game to play. I mean, I don't like puzzle games, but for those that do, I mean, I don't think you can beat anything other than Tetris, so I think that's legit. Wii Sport, hell yeah. I still play that. Hell yeah. I got pro on every sport. I took it so serious. And it's funny because I have little cousins and stuff. Like, we still play that. I still play it with them. So
it was so funny with Wii Sport too, because like the Nintendo with the Wii in and of itself tried to make gaming stop being something that people like I do and start putting it into the middle of the family room where people were doing this together. And
yes,
For God's sakes, it actually worked.
It did work. It did. In fact, obesity had decreased amongst gamers by 10% when the first year the Wii was released. And you're absolutely right. It did bring families together. It did work. It was game changing, I think. And if you look at any game changing console, I think it was the Nintendo Wii.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that was probably one of the more social consoles that there ever was too.
For sure.
Like think of the stuff that was on the Wii
Yeah.
that you played. I
Right.
mean, there were a few of them that were single player, but that was the like what
Like
Wind Waker,
Godfather. Yeah, that would be rare.
Godfather,
Yep. I can't think of anything else.
Mario
Like
Galaxy,
Mario Galaxy. Yeah.
and
I
of course the
mean,
port of Twilight Princess and the Metroid ports.
yes. I mean,
But
you
other than
had
that, everything
everything.
else was 4 player.
Yeah,
Mario
literally.
Party,
Oh, that
Mario
was a
Brothers,
yeah.
Wii Sports.
Donkey Kong. They had a Donkey Kong the racing one. Which I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Dancing with the Stars. That's the cool thing is Nintendo had the rights to many like shows and incorporated that entertainment industry because like they had Dancing with the Stars, they had Wipeout, like different game shows that they had incorporated into their games that everybody knew.
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, that's always been around on every console and that's been around. But like they had rights to everything. Like you're right, like Wheel of Fortune stopped being a thing, but we still had it. Like Nintendo still had it. Jeopardy, like I think they had Deal or No Deal at one point too. Like they had a bunch of licensing that like, oh, people know these shows. Well, here it is in the game. Like Price is Right. It's another one.
Yeah, my sister used to play that all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I think it was awesome. I do think the Wii, in my opinion, and you could play GameCube games on there. It was, I mean, backward compatible was so cool. I think it was maybe the best console to ever be introduced in gaming. Honestly.
And then they screwed it all up with the Wii U.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was such a waste. I skipped that one. Did not even bother. But the Wii was game changing. And I think that's why we sported on there. Mario Kart. I don't like the new Mario Kart with like the wheel and all that. I didn't care for that. But Mario Kart 8 was still on this list. So that's the top for the most games sold. Now we're going to move to the most played games. And that was still at Minecraft, obviously with 238 million people. It had 1 trillion views on YouTube, by the way, when Minecraft first came out. Isn't that crazy? I don't think a video has ever like been watched like that. But yeah, we also have Animal Crossing on that list, Call of Duty Black Ops, a lot of Call of Duties. I mean, this is a list of like 100. I'm just gonna summarize it. Sims. Oh yeah, Sims was another one. That's a big popular one. I personally hate Sims, but Pac-Man, because Pac-Man is a classic. Sonic the Hedgehog is on there.
I would think Mario 3 would be high up on that list because there's been so much interest in trying to break the record speed run.
47. Number 47. At 20.
I didn't think it'd be that low.
You wouldn't think because I think a lot of these, like you can't beat, like, it's not in the hundreds of millions. You know? Like, Animal Crossing beat it. Pac-Man beat it. Tetris beat it. I mean, it's pretty far down because you have to remember things like Grand Theft Auto are above it. Like, the whole series is above Super Mario 3. Diablo, Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim, Legend of Zelda. And then under Super Mario 3, it's like Gran Turismo, other Pokemons, Mario Kart DS. Like, we're taking Frogger. I loved Frogger. That's taking it back. I did love Frogger. So yeah, those kind of like all took underneath, but a lot of Nintendo has made this list. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like that's kind of given. But that was just based on the, like I said, copies sold. So I mean, those numbers speak for themselves. But I want to talk about like those that are the most played, and Pac-Man, of course, and Wii Sports is still on that list for the most popular gameplay. Oh, and I almost forgot. Uncharted is, I don't know how it's not on that list for, I forgot. Uncharted is a great game too, as far as story. So the fact that like Last of Us and stuff, all of that is based on people's raving reviews about it, but it's not part of like the raw data as far as how many units sold. I think Last of Us had like 100 mil. So I don't know how it's actually not on this list. Let's see. Oh, see, it's only 37 million copies. See, that's nothing compared. That's what's shocking to me. It's like all these game of the years that always win and stuff. Like Elden Ring didn't make this list. I'm gonna look up how many copies sold of that. 20 mil. It's like I don't know if gaming is dying necessarily or if like what is happening. Because you heard about Elden Ring, and if people didn't even know what it was, like everyone had heard of it. Right? I mean, these games just don't sell like they used to, but I don't think there's anything that we've talked about that's like not legitimate on the list. Like Diablo deserves it, even though I don't play it, it does deserve it. I mean, Sonic, Mario, I guess Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto, like all of these to me look legit. Like, I don't see, but now I want to talk about player count. Okay? Now there's a game.
Okay.
It's an app on your phone. You want to take a guess? 2.73 billion players. It takes number one. Every mom plays this.
Solitaire?
Candy Crush.
Ah.
Candy Crush at 2.73 billion. So this is now most played video games by player count. Second is actually PUBG at 1.2 billion. So
Wow.
Minecraft actually comes to number 5 on this list. Because Crossfire, which I have no idea what it is, at 1 billion. Dungeon Fighter Online, 850 mil. Among Us at 500 mil. And now you're Solitaire. Solitaire comes in. You keep getting the number 9 spot for 400
Nice.
million. Fortnite, Roblox has 202 million. I mean, I'm going through Grand Theft Auto 5 still but it's at 23 now. So see, it became number 2 for copies sold, but for player count, you go down to 140 mil. World of Warcraft, also 100 mil. It is number 28 on this list. Fall Guys, 50 mil. Rainbow Six Siege somehow makes it to number 53 with 50 mil. I mean, if you go down on this list, I think like For Honor even had 15 million, which to me is kind of shocking. I'm not gonna lie that it did. I'm not gonna lie. But these all seem legit. Like I don't even see your even Payday 2. See, Last of Us Remastered got 15.9. So like even that gets on here. I don't see Diablo even on this list. So
Yeah, that was kind of an underground hit almost.
right. I mean, right? I mean, Candy Crush. Think of all the games that we've played and talked about today, and imagine losing to Candy Crush. Imagine, which is like a
I've played
variation
it.
of like, right? It's like, it's crazy. But Pac-Man is still even. I mean, you can play Pac-Man for free if you just type in Pac-Man Google. You can literally play it for free. I mean, it's that easy. Rocket League's on there. I mean, Ragnarok Online. I don't even know what that is. 80 mil. I mean, Sims is on here too, but it's like the games that just because you've had many, like, to me personally, I don't think the numbers of copies sold matter compared to player count. Would you agree with that? Right? So I would say the legitimate list that we have here is probably by player count, even though I refuse to acknowledge Candy Crush because it's that bad. I refuse. But I mean,
one of the things to keep in mind too when you go back to like player count is trying to track the pass through
right,
for the older cartridge and console games like that. Like
right,
it's easy to come back out and track the online games and the downloads and how many people come in and do that, but like you've got the copy of Mario 3 that's been in 17 used video game shops throughout its life.
right, right. And
That's
what's
been played, like that copy itself has been played by 70 people.
right. I mean, literally, right? That's how it goes. I mean, that's how it goes. And what's crazy is, Firewatch got for the games that take up for narrative. Walking Dead ended up being number 1, which I honestly don't agree with. Personally. And Firewatch is on there, but Firewatch is a good game and it is a fun game. But do I think it's top? Maybe in my top, but I'm shocked to see it as far as like other people's top games. But like Red Dead Redemption 2 to me doesn't have as much of a story. Like, it's a great story, don't get me wrong. But to be put on like under Walking Dead, I don't think that's real. Like, I actually don't believe. Silent Hill is number 3. Like, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. Like Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill as a movie franchise wasn't even that good. Okay? Somehow Baldur's Gate 3 made its way to this list. So I find like these are like based on ratings, you know, because they all think like IGN is a know-all and that their ratings matter. But I would have to disagree. So that's for games that are narrative. Now I'm looking up for replayability because I think a lot of you said replayability. So let's see what that is. Number 1 comes in as Skyrim. Do you agree with that?
I've never played it, but I could see that being a Fallout fan.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that these are like number 1, it's like kind of crazy. Minecraft somehow made its damn way into this list. I don't understand.
Well, apparently it's replayable because people keep playing the damn thing.
Yeah. I did forget, now that I see this, Hitman is a great series for replayability. I forgot. That is a great game. I do love the Hitman series, and you can play that game and take people out in many different ways, so I can understand that. But, like, Minecraft, go away. This is absolutely insane to me. And then, of course, Detroit Become Humans also on this list, so, because you know, each decision can come up with something new. Red Dead Redemption 2, Witcher 3, I just don't understand it. And Resident Evil 2 somehow. I'm not a fan of that movie or game, but that's it. Replayability. I don't even see Diablo or anything on this list. See?
Yeah, that's weird because they are so... Well, again, that's kind of an underground one, though, too.
But still, it's like these people, this is what happens. This is why we talk mostly about our opinions and not the internet, because 90% of the time they don't get it right. Right? They just don't get it right. I mean, to me, I have replayed, the only game I've ever replayed as much as I have has been Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. And I don't know what the hell it is about that game, but I played it at least like hundreds of times from beginning to end. And it's so great. And the reason why I don't replay decision-making games too much until after is like I have to have my best ending saved, which I usually get on the first one, and then I'll start a whole new save, never overwrite my progress, and then I try to mess around with bad endings just to see what's out there. But
you can get Liberty City Stories on mobile.
I still play it on my PSP. All right, my PSP, I still play it. It's the move. It's the move. I still love it. I know where everything is. I even knew the cheats at one point when I was done with it and just messed around and had fun. There is something about that game. I do think we're like streaming away from Mafia type games, which is sad because like I said, that was like my favorite type as well. But do you have when was the last Diablo 3 was the last Diablo, right?
No, Diablo 4 just came out.
Yeah, that I forgot about that. Yeah. But see, no one, I haven't heard anyone talk about it like the third one.
There's a reason for that.
There is a reason. Okay. So like overall...
The third one sucked.
There you go. I'm not shocked. Because was it... Do you know, like, did it steer from like its original, what made it great? Because I haven't played it, so I wouldn't know.
Like a lot.
Okay, it did. So they changed it up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was... Even though they regenerated the maps every time you signed in,
right?
It legitimately, you're playing a movie in Diablo 3.
Okay. So I like that. I guess that would make sense for that. You guys let us know what your favorite, if it's replayability, campaign, whatever it is, what is your top games that we want to know? Did you agree with the list with the experts, aka internet said, or want to hear your list, you guys let us know. Next week, we're actually going to be talking all things football. Take it to the sporting segment because we got to talk about it. Football is popping off right now. And so this will wrap up gaming for today. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I'm kind of looking forward to talking football now that I moved from one border with a historic rivalry to another border with a historic rivalry.
There, I do. Sports is the move. Sports is move. And J Rev says, I agree with the list so far with the most money and playtime. I mean, yeah, it's like I do, but like, guys, we lost to Candy Crush. Think of all the things gaming we've talked about here, and we take a big L against Candy Crush. And a mobile game. Crazy. I think that to me was the most shocking. But it's not because,
everyone has a mobile phone.
Everyone has a mobile phone. Exactly. I mean, and the last thing I want to end is the iPhone 15, which I think is out. I don't know. Claims to be like the next big gaming rig. And I personally don't think cell phones are like gaming. To me personally, I hate cell phones. And I just don't think that. I think iPhone should focus more about like being a cell phone rather than, making into a gaming rig. But it finally has USB-C. Yeah, it's titanium. We'll talk more about that when we go back to gaming. I'm sure more things about the iPhone 15, but it's strange. And I don't even use a cell phone that much, but you know what I mean? It is what it's weird. It's weird. And if you have an iPhone 15, let us know. I think that they're all the same because I swear to God, by next month, iPhone 16 will already have been announced. Thank you guys so much for being with us today. Next week, football. See you there next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Y'all take care.